We can't just send one and then people get excited and they live in hope because somebody out there is trying to help them. And of course the people in Africa tell them that it comes from a man called Jesus. And so they want to know who Jesus is. And then they tell them, when they've had a distribution, they tell them to wait over there and somebody will come and tell them who Jesus is. And through our second-hand clothes, which are going out on our containers, are winning thousands, literally thousands of souls for the kingdom of heaven who never knew there was a man called Jesus. I'm Sheila Lloyd. I started the charity in 1984. I was born in Africa. I was born in Central Africa, but it was shortly after we were here that I realized that God had called me for a purpose. And after meeting Kathy Harding in Exeter, because she too was born in Central Africa, and she told me of the terrible waste of clothes in this country. So we started off by sending by air ton, 1 ton of clothes by air first. But then of course we had so many clothes we had to think about starting sending by container load. In the beginning we only sent 20-foot containers because that's all we could actually cope with. But of course 28 years later we are sending 40-foot containers, the very big containers, and we are sending them to about 12 different places in Africa on a regular basis.
Stationery, 5. Salt, 10.
And then of course once we were sending clothes, we realized we had to start helping the people to become completely self-sufficient. So we were sending everything from here that they needed. The women all got sewing machines, the men got agricultural tools, carpentry tools, and seeds and all that material for the sewing machines, all these things to help them to become sufficient. Then we started sending for schools because we realized that they had to be educated. So many schools have been built. Some of the schools are taking place under a tree and the children are sitting on the ground, but they are learning something. And that's why we sell all the school equipment that we possibly can.
These are toweling nappies. They're desperate for in Zambia, but because in England now they don't use them, they use all these throwaway things. So.
Have them, yeah.
And you took a pride in how white they were.
Yeah, we used to put them on the line and get them dry. Used to be a daily thing. Put it in a bucket of nappies hand.
Yeah, that's right.
We actually have got 3 incubators in a home in Lusaka, Zambia, because they started a home for abandoned babies. And these 3 incubators are in the hospital in Lusaka. And many abandoned babies have been through the incubators from the William Harvey Hospital.
Wow.
Of course, they also look after a leprosy colony with many leprosies, and nobody had ever been out there to see them or they just live off the land, and they've got no limbs. They've lived on the ground all their life, and we started sending equipment for the lepers. In Matthew 25, verse 31 to 40, the Lord calls people to clothe the naked, feed the hungry, look after the sick.